Hey angels, is this you? You love 3 different things. You cannot decide between them, and everybody just tell you to choose this one thing. But there's nothing wrong with not choosing because you are multi-passionate, just like me. Get this, I am actually where you were a few years ago, before I actually know that I'm a multi-passionate. I understand the struggle of not knowing what to do when everyone's asking you for your 5-year plan. I feel really baffled when people actually can tell you what they want when I don't even know what I want to do next year. Stay with me for a few minutes. I'm going to tell you my story of how I overcome this and how I managed to pick the one interest that ruled them all. These 3 tests that I did actually helped me so much to be who I am today. Be a multi-passionate who is happy with what she chooses. Let's get to it. So the first one is called a lifestyle test. Imagine that you are interested in photography, but you're still on the fence of deciding whether you want to pursue this. The most helpful thing you could do is to visualize what your life will look like if you actually pursue wedding photography. What time will you wake up? Who you'll be spending time with? What kind of clients will you get? And what kind of colleagues do you get? I'm sure that by the end of this visualization, you'll have a much better idea of whether pursuing this passion will be a lifestyle that fits you. Because I know that from my personal experience, I've always wanted to be a baker because of my interest in baking. But I couldn't stand the thought of waking up at 4 a.m. every single day, having to work and stand on my feet for 8 hours, even though I love sweets so much. So that has failed the lifestyle test for me, and I decided not to go with baking as my career. And it remains a hobby. Sometimes we just love the idea of something rather than living it in reality. Your action item for this is to think about an interest that you're thinking about pursuing. Visualize what your life will look like if you actually have a career in that interest. And if you still like that lifestyle, then go for it. Number 2, the second test is to smoosh everything together. This is a concept that I read from the How to Be Everything book by Emily Wapnick. She is also a fellow multi-potentialite. The main idea of this is you don't need to pick one passion, but rather you need to find the common thread between all the passion that you have. And instead of choosing either or, you can combine them all together and make sure they complement each other beautifully. Let's go into examples. In her books, she had a few examples of someone who loves psychology, art, and teaching. They don't have to choose just one. They could become an art therapist or create a YouTube channel that teaches emotional wellness through creativity. Another example is that maybe your through line isn't a job, but it's a value like curiosity, self-expression, and helping others grow. For example, someone who loves filmmaking, for psychology, and travel might realize their core theme is human connection. They can build a storytelling career around that. The last example is a real business called Twig Terrariums. They merged science, design, and storytelling to create living art. And that's quite cool, isn't it? And this is the most powerful step of all. Test it out and break your analysis paralysis and just test it out. The main reason why we get stuck is because we're afraid of making the wrong choice. And what will happen if the wrong choice that I make? Will I be a failure? And we are especially afraid of losing something when we have invested so much time in. And that is actually called sunk cost fallacy. The truth is, research will only get you so far. It actually doesn't move you forward. You're stuck in one place. So how do we overcome this analysis paralysis? This is what I really like. Think of your life as an experiment. Why experiment? Because they're fun and you can make mistakes. Often experiments have a hypothesis, and there's nothing more fun than disproving that hypothesis. And at the end of the day, you are just learning new things about yourself. There is a neuroscientist who really pushed this idea of tiny experiments, and I love this idea of having so many fun things that I can try out without being scared to fail. So check her out if you would like more information on these. But the general idea is imperfect action actually gives you a point of data. And all these different experiments you have throughout your life collected data to tell you you're moving into the right direction or not. And remember, you're not failing, you're merely collecting data to know what you like and what you don't like. So I just want to tell you about a story about a good friend of mine whom I meet occasionally from time to time. But every time she tells me she doesn't know what she wants to do in life. And so I asked her, have you tried to find another job in another field? But what she told me was, no, because I am not sure what direction I want in life, so I don't want to take that risk. But it actually frustrates me so much because how do you know if you don't try? how do you know you hate this job? And how do you find out if you just keep thinking about it? And it's been many, many years since that conversation happened. And you know what? The last time I saw her, she's still in the same boat. So don't be someone who spends 2 years just researching and thinking about this idea. Take action. And remember, you can fail. So your action item for this is pick one interest and just do a little experiment with it. Maybe take a class, try out to see if you actually like that interest, and see how you go. These were the most important life-changing steps that I did to create the life I want right now. I feel genuinely fulfilled that I have all these different passions, and I know that I will be using this from time to time, again and again throughout my life, because interests will evolve, and that's undeniable, right? Remember, the goal is not yet perfection. It is to learn more about life, learn more about what you are interested in. So I encourage you to do all these action steps and let me know how you go in the comments. So if you enjoyed this video so far, I'm sure you'll enjoy my multipassionate series where I discuss solutions to common problems of us multipassionate. Until next time, Angel, take care.